Hi and welcome back to my channel. My name is Amy and I'm the knitter behind Knitting Matters, and today I want to talk you through all of my knitting plans for this new season that we're coming into, which is the fall or autumn of 2025. So I've put together a little mood board for you with a little snippet of all the things that I want to knit this season. I think it's quite optimistic, but it all has a plan. So if that's something that you're interested in, then just keep watching. So the first plan that I have, and probably what will be the first cast on, is these yarns here, which I am hoping to turn into a terracotta sweater. So the merino is the John Arbon Knit by Numbers. It's actually a DK weight, but it is a very thin DK weight. And when I knit my gauge swatch, which is here, I actually hit gauge. Now I normally am quite a tight knitter, so I normally go up a needle size, but on this occasion I kept to the recommended needle size and I did hit gauge with this one. I've made a mistake on the colour work here, but it's only a swatch, so I don't mind. This has turned out a much thicker fabric than the porcelain sweater, which, if you don't know, is the same designer. So the terracotta sweater is designed by, the company name is Knit, the designer is Lene Samso, and she recommends tin pigment and tin silk mohair, which is what I knit the porcelain sweater out of, and is the same recommended materials for the terracotta sweater. However, I'm committed to using up my stash this year, and I have quite a lot of this in stash, so this is what I wanted to use. So I've knit up my tension square. It is a much thicker fabric. It is an incredibly soft fabric. I wish this was like Feel-O-Vision, where I could hold it up and you can touch it, but it is, you'll just have to take my word for it, it's incredibly soft. I enjoy the way that the colours look together on the colour work pattern, and I did a little bit of the texture for the edging as well. So yeah, I did hit gauge with the recommended needle size with this yarn. So this is what I'm going to be, and I'm hoping to cast this on my birthday. So my birthday is usually around the first day back at school here in the UK. It's the first week in September. So I'm pretty sure that this is going to be my cast on. And I'm going to be knitting it. I don't have the colour names because I knit these into I wound these into cakes years ago before, and I didn't keep the labels before I was organised enough to keep the labels. And I think I got this from the Wonderwool show, I want to say 2015 or 2016. So yeah, I've had it a really long time. And I'm going to be pairing it with the Knitting for Olive soft silk mohair in dark mousse and cream. So that will be, that will be my first cast on this season. My second cast on this season, I hope to be a Moby sweater by PetiteKnit. And for that, I have this PetiteKnit Double Sunday and the coordinating tin silk mohair. This is the shade 2511. I'm not sure if it's going to be a little bit too yellow on my very cool skin tone. I don't know what you guys think, but I've got it and I love it and I'm going to make it anyway. So I bought a sweater's quantity of yarn to make the Moby about 6 months ago. And I ordered the shade Marzipan and I ordered the soft silk mohair from Knitting for Olive to complement it. But then I got a message from John from SKD Yarns to say that they didn't have enough of the Sunday in the same dye lot. Did I want mixed dye lots or did I want a different colour? And he gave me a few options and I had a look. It was actually this one, which we'll get into in a minute. And I was like, yeah, sure. In fact, I'll pull it out now. And I was like, yeah, sure. It looks really similar on the website. I'll have that one. But, oops. Oh goodness. But as you can see, it's not even remotely similar to Marzipan. In fact, that's not Marzipan. Where's my Marzipan? There's my Marzipan. So it's not even remotely close to Marzipan at all. So I ended up keeping it anyway, but looking for an alternative yarn for my Moby sweater. So I ended up with an alternative yarn for my Moby sweater, which is this one. Then summer came and I never got around to casting it on, but with the cool weather coming, this is definitely my next plan. So I'm going to be knitting it in the Double Sunday by PetiteKnit and the coordinating soft silk mohair. And I'm already thinking that that's enough for the fall, but that's not the end of my plans. I have more sweaters planned for this couple of months that is fall in the UK. The next sweater that I have planned is, and it's a very loose plan, I can't decide between the Arctic Lights or the Salty Days sweater by Kutovakika. I'm leaning more towards the Salty Days, and that is what I will be using this Double Sunday for. So this is the shade 2351. And this was the one that I sort of accidentally ended up ordering. Now, I still really like the colour. I think it suits me. I think this is good on my skin tone. I've never had colour analysis or anything. I'm just winging it, but I mean, I like the way it looks and I would wear this colour. And I have ordered some soft silk mohair in the shade Dusty Moose by Knitting for Olive, and I think that they will look quite nice together. So when I ordered this originally, thinking it was marzipan, I ordered some marzipan soft silk mohair from Knitting for Olive. Now the marzipan didn't arrive, this arrived, and I knit up a swatch in it anyway, because it was going to be for my Moby sweater. But you can see I really didn't like the way that you can see the thread of the marzipan that comes through on this taupe colour. So I have kept the marzipan for, it'll be for a different project, and I will be continuing with the Dusty Moose, which I think will look a lot better. I will say this is a wonderful combination if you've never tested it before. I've not knit a garment yet. This will be my first few garments knit with this combination, but it feels incredibly soft. It's really squishy, and I could definitely have that next to my skin without fear that it would be itchy. Yeah, so my next project will probably be the Salty Days sweater in these two shades by Kutovakika. The next sweater that I have planned, because 3 intricate cable work sweaters obviously isn't enough for one season, is I've got a bit of a plain one planned for this beautiful yarn. So this is the West Yorkshire Spinners Croft 100% Shetland wool, and it is the Aran weight. And I plan on making the Louvre sweater with this. Now, I know that this is an Aran weight yarn, but the PetiteKnit, which is recommended for that project, is a really thick double knit weight yarn. So if I loop these together on my finger, hopefully you'll be able to see what I'm trying to explain. So even though it says it's Aran weight and double knit weight, in terms of diameter of the threads here, they're very, very similar. Now you get slightly less per 50 gram ball of the West Yorkshire Spinners, which tells me it's slightly thicker, but I think because this is such a thick double knit, it's really hard to find a double knit comparison or like for like comparison. So anyway, I had a gift card that my colleagues kindly gave me when I moved to a different role for John Lewis. So I bought some of this from the John Lewis website, and I bought the rest of it that I needed for the sweater in my local yarn store. And incredibly, they were the same dye lots, which has never happened before. So I'm not going to have to worry about helical knitting or switching skeins or anything like that, which I'm very happy about. But it's just a very plain neutral background with this lovely purple fleckled all the way through it, which again, I think is a colour that I would like to wear. I really enjoy wearing purple, so that is, and hopefully the last one that I made, like, it went so quickly. I think because, you know, PetiteKnit is quite a chunky yarn, and it's quite a straightforward pattern that I don't really need to look at my hands when I'm doing it. Once you get through the yoke, it's just all stocking. So anyway, that is my 4th sweater that I'm planning on knitting this season. I have one more sweater in here, and then everything else is going to be accessories, and that is that going to stay? Yes. So the yarn for the final sweater is Baby Merino, and with this Baby Merino I plan to be making a Porcelain Sweater Junior for my daughter. So as you can see, I've made the porcelain sweater for myself, and I plan on making her the junior version using the Drops Baby Merino. The recommended yarn in the pattern, I believe, is either Sunday or Tin Pigint, both by Sandusgarn. I'm opting for Drops for several reasons. Firstly, softness, but secondly, price. I think my daughter will be fine with this one, and I hope to get this done in time for Christmas because I would like us to be matchy at Christmas time. So that is the final sweater in my mood board of sweaters this season. I have a Novice slipover planned with this Debbie Bliss Donegal tweed. I love the tweedy effects on the ball. And look at that, how gorgeous is it, all those different colours fleckled in. See that blue and the pink and the yellow. So with this, I hope to be making a Novice slipover. So I have had this in my stash for a really long time. I've spoken about it on other videos that I purchased it years ago, believing that when you buy 50 grams of yarn, all yarn is made equal, so you must have exactly the same meterage. I now know differently. So I do not believe I have enough to make a sweater or a cardigan out of this really beautiful yarn, but I do believe I have enough to make a very classic plain slipover, and that is what I intend to do to get this yarn out of my stash. So this is definitely part of my stash busting this year. The other yarns that I have in here, so this whole side here is, I'm starting my Christmas gift knit. So this is for a family who, I don't think they're all going to fall over. So this is for a family who are really good friends of ours. They've got 3 daughters who are similar sorts of ages to our daughters. The one daughter is similar to mine, and my son, the middle daughter, is the same age as my son. So they have each chosen a colour because they really enjoy my son's Oslo hat. So they went camping together last, I think, October, and they were sort of stealing his hat and wearing it. They all really liked it. And they've asked this year that I make them all a hat for Christmas this year. So the baby, the 4-year-old, has chosen this baby pink colour. The eldest has chosen this Bordeaux colour. I think she was hoping it would be a bit more red. It looks quite brown here, but I'll knit it up, and if she doesn't like it, I can always make her another one. And their middle daughter has chosen ice blue for her hat. So they have chosen the colours for their hats. They're really happy with those. And their mum chose cerise pink. So I picked up enough baby merino to make a cerise pink. But their mum is one of the most wonderful people on the planet. I adore her, and I think she probably deserves something a little bit special. So I actually went ahead and picked up the Knitting for Olive Merino and Soft Silk Mohair in the same colour. I think it's very similar. Now, I have never worked with the soft silk, with the merino before, and I only have used the soft silk mohair once or twice before. Now, I have lots of plans to use it, but I haven't actually used it very much at all. So I'm really intrigued. So I will be making her a Oslo mohair edition with this pink, and I will probably use this for my daughter, who I think would really like a hat as well, especially in this colour. So those are my plans for this section here. And then recently, when I went on a trip to Lancaster to visit my brother, I picked up this really beautiful yarn from a yarn store in the middle of Lancaster called Ethel and M. So I had lots of help from a lovely chap called Ben. So if you ever see this, Ben, thank you very much. And I picked up the Knit Pro Symphony. Now, I didn't know Knit Pro did yarn. I know they did needles because I've got all of them, but I didn't know that they did yarn. So I picked up this Knit Pro yarn, which I think will make, again, an Oslo hat mohair edition. And I picked up to go with it this Hurtigarn Silk Kid mohair. It feels really soft. It feels comparable to the Knitting for Olive. It's really, really delicious and squishy, and I thought a really good match for this Knit Pro magenta colour. So yeah, really excited to get that wound up and to get a hat cast on for me, because I really want... I made myself a sort of burgundy red colour last year and I wore it all the time. So this year I think I'm going to go for a nice bright, maybe not quite as bright as this, although I do quite like it. I think this is maybe more my sort of pink. So yeah, so that's what that one is for. And then here I saw a podcaster on YouTube use, oh goodness, excuse me. I saw a Celine by Woozy by Celine? Yes. I forgot her name, it just went out of my head. So Woozy by Celine made some frost mittens out of this yarn last year. So I believe she was gifted the yarn. I haven't been gifted any yarn, I buy all of my own yarn. By Holston. So she was gifted these yarns, and with them she made the most stunning pair of frost mittens, and I'll see if I can find a picture to just pop in to show you where my inspiration has come from. So having watched that video, I went straight out and purchased the yarn to make myself some frost mittens. So I really enjoy greys and purples. I think, again, I haven't had colour analysis done. These are just colours that I like to wear. And I think these will make a really delightful pair of frost mittens for myself. With any leftovers, I maybe will make a hat, but I do, when I'm testing new yarns, I do quite like to make small things like hats before I jump straight in and buy a sweater's quantity worth. So this is the Holston Higher, which is 70% baby alpaca and 20% mulberry silk, and I'm going to be holding it with the Lucia, which is the soft silk. It is a baby alpaca and a mulberry silk with 13% merino wool and 10% yak, so lots of things going into the mohair there. And I have gone for the colours Ballerina, Celeste, Shadow and Oyster. So hopefully these will be a beautiful pair of frost mittens for me this winter. And then if I have any time left over, or I quite like to have some portable patterns that I tend to take to swimming lessons and, you know, rugby practice and things like that, where I'm just waiting for my children to finish. So I have some leftover hanks. So this is the Double Sunday Marzipan, and this is the Marzipan Soft Silk Mohair from Knitting for Olive. So I will probably start making some of my Christmas gift knits. So I'm going to be making some hats this year for Christmas, potentially some socks and mittens, but this one, this combo will be a hat. I also have quite a lot of, this is a four ply blend of alpaca and merino. So it's 70% organic merino and 30% UK alpaca. It's the Great British Yarns Union range. I'm not sure if they still are in the market, but again, this is a hank that I purchased at Wonderwool probably about 10 years ago, and I want to get it used up. I want to get it out of my stash, because really what I do is I look at it and I hold it and I think about how wonderfully soft it is, and then I put it back in the drawer again. So I've got some grey soft silk mohair. This is the shade Morning Haze that I think will look quite nice with it. On camera, those colours look quite different, but in real life, they look very similar. I'm not sure if I've done something wrong there. I can't quite decide whether to make myself the Moby Neck. Is that the name of it? I'll make sure that I put it in so that I've got this right. But the thing that you pull over your head and it keeps your neck and your chest warm, that you wear in place of a scarf. So I'm very tempted to make that with this little lot. And again, grey is a colour that I like to wear. So hopefully either a couple of hats I could get out of this, or the Moby. I haven't decided, but I have decided that I need to knit it up and get it out of my stash. And And the very last thing that I haven't spoken about is this, which would be for a pair of socks. So this hank is by Vintage Pearls. It is a hand-dyed sock yarn, again, that I picked up at Wonderwool the last time that I went, so like 10 years ago. Superwash merino wool and 25% nylon. So I really like, there's a pair of socks that I've seen and I don't know the name of it and I haven't been able to find it, but it looks like there's noughts and crosses all over the socks. So if you know the name of that pattern, would you please put it down below, because I really want to knit those socks and I just can't remember the name of the pattern. So that, and I think that wraps up everything. I think I've talked about everything that I have in my little basket here and on the side. So I know that's a lot. That is a lot of projects for one season, but I'm really excited about it. I think it's better to have more plans than less plans. And I'm definitely really excited to get my birthday cast on this in the next couple of days. So hopefully that will be coming soon. So anyway, thank you for watching. And if you've enjoyed this video, please do give me a thumbs up, a like and a subscribe so that you are made aware every time I post a video. And I look forward to catching up with you in the next video. Bye.